Hello, and welcome to the Man Card tutorial video. In this video, you'll learn how to play the fun party game Man Card. This is a game for 3 to 10 players and can be enjoyed by men and women and people young and old. The objective of the game is to be the last person standing with any of your man cards. Now, let's turn to game setup. To set up a game, you'll start by separating out all of the green cards that say Man Card on the back. You'll also notice that they have pictures on the front. These don't matter to the game, they're just fun to look at. Start by dealing each player 5 man cards. For a 4-player game, this will make the game last around 30 minutes. If you want to play a longer game, deal more man cards per player. For a shorter game, deal less. The more players you have, the less cards you'll want, unless you want to have a really long game. After you've dealt out the cards, set them to the side. They will no longer be used in the game. Now let's finish game setup by taking the remainder of the cards, we call these category cards, and shuffling them all together. Once you've shuffled them, you'll place them in either one pile or 2. If you want to use one pile, it means when it's a player's turn, they'll only have the top card to choose from. If you go with 2, the player on their turn can choose either one of the piles to draw from. It's up to you. On the turns, players will draw one of the cards and then complete the following actions. Let's now look at the different category cards. The first type of category card is called choices. These take about 2 minutes to complete. These are kind of a would you rather scenario where you get to decide what you would do and your opponents get to see how well they know you. Read the card out loud. Here's an example. Would you rather fight an A, kangaroo, B, chimpanzee, or C, wolf? After you've read it, you'll secretly choose which option you would prefer. Note it down on a piece of paper or maybe in your phone. Everybody else does the same thing, selecting what they think you will choose. After everyone's made their selection, reveal your answer. Then, as everybody else reveals theirs and what they chose, you'll take the following actions based on these outcomes. If less than 50% of the players match with your choice, you lose a man card. If greater than or equal to 50% of the players match with your choice, then you keep your man card, and the players in the minority, meaning they didn't select the same as you, lose a man card. And finally, if all other players select the same option as you chose, nobody loses a man card. When you lose a man card, you'll take one from your pile and put it in the center as a discard. It doesn't go to the other players. For an in-depth example of how this category works, click on the link here. Let's look at the second category card. This is called Versus. When somebody draws this card, they'll read it out loud and then pick an opponent that they want to compete against. These cards take about 3 to 4 minutes to complete. After you've determined your opponent, you'll then let the opponent decide whether they want to go first or second in the round and which item they would like to defend. In this example, I've drawn the versus Seinfeld versus Friends. My opponent decides that they want to go first and that they would like to defend Friends. Once they've done that, they will get 1 minute to speak. During this minute, nobody else at the table can talk. After they're done making their arguments defending Friends, then it would be you as the player's turn to have 1 minute to defend Seinfeld. After your minute's up, both players get 1 collective minute to rebut the other person's argument or add to their defense. Only the players that are competing can talk during this final 3rd minute. After the 3rd minute is up, all of the other players at the table get to vote as to who they think won the versus. The loser loses a man card. If it's a tie in the vote, then play rock, paper, scissors to determine the victor. Once again, the loser loses a man card to the center discard pile. For an in-depth example of how this category works, click on the link here. Let's take a look at the third card category called Challenge. These cards take about 1 minute to complete. When somebody draws this, your opponent will be the player to your right. Players take turns alternating name matches to the category on the card until one of the following occurs. 1, they run out of things they can think of. 2, they repeat something that's already been said, or 3, they say something that's factually incorrect. Here's an example. I've drawn the card, Adam Sandler or Eddie Murphy movies, no sequels. So play would start by alternating matches until somebody runs out. When somebody runs out, you'll know when that happens, but usually we give people about 5 to 10 seconds before they can stop and think of another answer. Whoever loses the challenge loses a man card. For an in-depth example of this, click the following link. Let's look at the 4th card category, which is called Rushmore. When somebody draws a Rushmore card, these last about 4 minutes, and everyone at the table gets to participate. Players participate by writing down their top 4 items that match the category on the card. In this example, I've drawn the card Fast Food Restaurants. Players write down in secret on a notepad or in their phone what they think the top fast food restaurants would be. Once everyone's made their selections, everyone reads their options out one at a time and crosses off any matches that other players had. After everyone's read their list, you'll sum up the totals to determine who had the least amount of matches. That person loses a man card. If there's a tie for the least amount of matches, then all players that tie lose their man card and play continues. One other note on Rushmore, if you're already out of man cards and you're out of the game, you still participate in this category. It keeps it fun and engaging for people who maybe lose early in the game. For an example of man cards Rushmore category in action, click the following link. We hope you enjoy this game, no matter how you decide to play it, and we welcome your feedback. Thanks.